9,
Sequence initiated.
7, 6, 5,
Downloading.
4, 3, 2, 1.
All phases complete.
You're listening to The Loan Signing Hustle with Brett Reitler, where I dive into marketing, branding, tips, and the resources you need to becoming a successful loan signing agent. Take back control over your life and live in the freedom that you deserve. This is a hustle you won't want to miss. This is episode 1, getting started as a notary loan signing agent. I am super excited to be starting this podcast because one, I love podcasting and I got into it during the pandemic when the whole world was shut down and podcasts were a way of learning new information and kind of keeping my mind busy instead of staying on Facebook or Instagram and just scrolling through social media endlessly. It can be kind of just a black hole and a rabbit hole you can get sucked down into. But recently, I was trying to find podcasts on the notary loan signing business, and there's only a couple out there. So I figured, why not create the loan signing hustle and give people and fellow agents like myself the knowledge and interviews with escrow officers and marketing and tips to becoming a successful agent. So that is why and where this podcast came from. So please click the subscribe button so you can get notified when I have new episodes. And there's also going to be a link to my Venmo username and a place where you can even buy me a coffee. So I have enough time and energy to keep producing these podcasts for my fellow loan signing agents out there. Now, if you're here listening to this, you're probably either a notary that's curious about getting into loan signings, or a well-seasoned loan signing agent already, or maybe even someone that's curious to learn a little bit about the business before jumping into it. I'm going to give a little background about myself and how I got into becoming a loan signing agent. So, my brother last year flew out to Denver, Colorado to see me. My family, none of them have come out to see me since the 4 years I've lived here. So my brother was the first one to make way out here, and I love him to death for it. But him and I have always been entrepreneurs, and he came to me with this video saying, "Hey, you've got to see this video. I really think that this is the next way to make a lot of money." So of course, he had my attention, and my brother Bo showed me a video on YouTube with this guy, Mark Wills, interviewing loan signing agent Alex, and he made over $13,000 in 1 month by being a loan signing agent. Now, when my brother first showed me this video, I sat there and I was like, there is no way somebody is making $13,000 plus in a month by being a notary public, period. So as I continue to watch this interview with Mark and loan signing agent Alex, I realized that this was very real and that this wasn't a joke. So my mind started turning. It kept turning and turning. How is this possible? Now, let me see in my city, which I live in Denver, Colorado, how many title companies are out there? So you earn your business mainly through, if you're going direct, you're earning it through title companies that are local. So I figured, well, let me check into the title companies that are near me. So I got onto Google, started typing everything in, and I saw that there was Fidelity, there was Canyon Title, First Integrity Title, First Alliance, Stewart Title, Guardian Title, First American, etc. There are so many out there, and each one of these title companies have about 5 or 6 or 7 offices in Denver and in the surrounding counties. So my mind automatically knew that there is a way to make 6 figures and way beyond that if you're running a signing service in this business. So I got fired up. I was ready to go. And I told my brother, I was like, this is it. You have found the business to have financial freedom and your own freedom of schedule to be happy and to break the system of the 9-to-5 work life. So during that time, I was an account manager for an establishment for about 3 or 4 years, and I was just over the corporate structure. Yes, I was making 6 figures during that time, and later on down the road, earlier this year, I cold turkey gave up 6 figures to fully run my signing service and loan signing business here in Denver, Colorado. So within days of my brother flying back home to Phoenix, Arizona, I purchased Mark Will's course, and that was a moment that my life changed. Now, his course doesn't teach you how to become a notary public, but it does go over in detail how to present and guide a borrower through loan documents and getting it done in less than an hour. Now, not all signings are less than an hour, because my first one that I did definitely took me, I think, like 2.5 hours. And there are times when you might be doing, a reverse mortgage, and it might take 2 or 3 hours because you're with somebody that is over 62 years old, and it just takes time. They want to know what they're signing. They want to know kind of the details, and those closings usually take a little more time, which is absolutely okay. But for the most part, refis, buyers, seller packages, you can knock these things out in less than an hour for sure. Sometimes even 45 minutes. I think my quickest closing took me 38 minutes, and you're averaging $100 to $225 for that hour, which is mind-blowing. Well, while I was taking my course with Mark Wills, it's called the Loan Signing System. I don't know any other courses out there, so I can't speak for those ones, but Mark Wills, the Loan Signing System, it taught me everything I knew and put me on track to being where I'm at today. So while I was taking the course, I made sure to get the ball rolling on my notary commission for the state of Colorado. Now, the notary commission for every state is going to be different. So for Colorado, I know that these are the steps that are needed to receive your commission. The first one, you need to sign the affirmation for appointment and commission as a notary public form and have it notarized. Now, you can go to your local UPS store, I believe, and they usually have a notary in there that can just notarize a document for you. In the state of Colorado, you can notarize a document for $5. So that's how much it costs. And then you take a training course from a state-approved trainer. Now, I did mine through the NNA, the National Notary Association. They have a lot of great products on there, information, everything you need to know being a notary public. So I really recommend, going through the NNA for these steps in this process. Then you have to successfully complete the Colorado Secretary of State's notary exam, and you have to pass it. And then completing an online Colorado Notary Public application on the Secretary of State's website. You upload your affirmation form, scan images of both sides of your identification, your training certificate, an exam certificate, and you upload that to the Secretary of State's website. You pay the $10 Notary Public application fee, and then you wait for the Secretary of State's email with your application approval and your account login information. Once you get that, then you can log into your account on the Secretary of State's website and save and print out your Colorado Notary Public Commission certificate. And that is it. That is how you get your certificate and commission from the state. So after I finished that step, mind you, during this time I was studying heavily Mark Will's course and trying to soak in and absorb as much information I can to be ready to hit the ground running right when I got all of the things that I needed to properly start my notary loan signing business. So after I got my commission, then I purchased my Notary Public stamp from the NNA, my notary book, loose notarial certificates, my background check, as well as my E&O insurance. Now I'll tell you step by step why all of these are very important. So every transaction that you notarize, every loan signing that you do, you're gonna need a notary book to record all of the information and the notarizations within the documents. So the book that I use currently is called the Secure Notary Public Journal for Signing Agents. You can get it on Amazon Prime. It's, $17, but you can use one page for your entire loan signing package. So if it's a refi, you can put two borrowers on the same page and you can notarize without having to write in the address every time, having them sign everything that you notarize, like each one separately. You only need to get one signature and then the initial next to each document that you notarize. So that saved me so much time, because in the beginning, I had gotten a Notary Public Journal from the NNA, and I was writing in the address, the identification number, the borrower's name next to every single document I notarize. And you guys, once you get into this business, that is not the most efficient way to get through it. Now, that book is accepted in the state of Colorado and in other states. So you're gonna have to check with your state what you need in your Notary Public Journal in order for it to be valid. So that's the book I use here in Colorado. The next thing is loose notarial certificates, which are jurats and acknowledgements. I always carry these on me by the hundreds because when you're in a closing and the notarial verbiage is not for your state, then that is when you will need a loose notarial certificate to attach to the document that you're notarizing. Once again, you are gonna have to follow your state's laws and rules regarding how to properly notarize a document. But these are certificates that I always keep on me, especially in loan signing, because there are times when you're doing an out-of-state closing and you will need these certificates if they don't have the correct verbiage on the document. The next thing that you will also need is a background check. This is required by all title companies and signing services while you are a notary loan signing agent. You have to renew it every year. They want to make sure that you are not a criminal. So getting your background check sometimes can take you 3 to 5 days. So you want to make sure you get that ball rolling. So when you're ready to get onboarded with signing services, you will have that document to upload to be verified in the system. The next thing that you will need as a notary loan signing agent is E&O, errors and omissions insurance. Now, I currently carry $250,000 only because some title offices I work with locally require that amount from me, but there are a lot of signing services and some title companies that allow you to have $25,000, which is a minimum, I believe, E&O insurance to get going and start your loan signings with them. Now, you can get E&O insurance with the NNA. I believe they do up to $100,000. So if you need more than that, you're going to have to go through a third party, whether that is State Farm or the Hartford. But the NNA, at least for Colorado, I believe, only goes up to $100,000. Your signing agent profile on the NNA, you're going to want to make sure that this is filled out with hours, updated E&O insurance. It has all of your current information in regards to closings and where you're willing to travel, because some signing services and some title companies I've had request my signing agent profile so they can see that I'm a valid NNA member. They can see that my commission is valid, even though you'll be sending that commission certificate to them. They will use your signing agent profile to verify you, and it allows others to find you, to reach out in regards to work. So you'll definitely want to have your signing agent profile on the NNA filled out. Next would be getting your loan signing system certificate to upload it to specific sites and signing services. Now, Mark Wills has built such a big platform for notary publics and loan signing agents that it is recognized by some signing services and title companies. So being able to show them that you are a certified loan signing system student and I guess graduate, you can get work based solely on that information. So if you take his course, definitely get your certificate uploaded to, some of those sites so they can recognize you as being a knowledgeable loan signing agent. After all of these steps are complete and you're fully certified, now it's time to prepare to get your first signing. So before you even jump into signing up for signing services or meeting with escrow companies, title companies locally, you will want to make sure you have the right printing and scanning equipment to be ready for receiving your first signing. Now, I have a Brother printer. It's the MFC L5800DW. This printer has a scanner on it as well. It has been so perfect for me in starting my business because it prints quick. It's a laser printer. You don't want to go with an inkjet because it's not that cost effective. You'll be spending a lot of money on ink if you have an inkjet printer. So you definitely want to get a laser printer. That is probably the only printer that I would even recommend for loan signing. One thing that I did learn while getting my printer and computer set up for printing documents properly, I use Adobe Acrobat for the PDF docs, and in the settings, you can auto rotate from the paper. So when you're printing out these loan docs, a lot of the times you'll have legal and letter paper sizes in the documents mixed. So you want to make sure your settings are correct in Adobe to be able to print these documents seamlessly and correctly. Otherwise, they will be compiled to fit on a letter size document, a letter size paper, and a lot of the times they will get cut off. And then you'll be in the middle of a signing serving cut off paperwork, and you'll miss the signature lines, and the escrow office or signing service will not be happy. So you definitely don't want to make that mistake. Make sure that your settings are all set up and ready to go before you even do your first signing. And I will tell you what, it is so important to at least practice with your printer mixed documents, like printing out a mixed document that has both legal and both letter, because when you get your first signing, it might be 30 minutes out and you're going to be trying to figure out how to get legal on legal paper and letter on letter paper simultaneously, and you might be late to your appointment because you just can't figure it out. So be sure to set that up before you even accept your first signing. Know how your printer prints and make sure the settings are correct. I will say I had a very difficult time with my Apple products. I have a MacBook and I also have an iMac. They would not print the documents properly. I tried everything. So I kind of just gave up on Apple with my loan signing business, and I got a Microsoft Surface Pro, which is a laptop, and it's Windows. So Windows prints simultaneous legal and letter with Adobe Acrobat Reader, the PDF documents, pretty professionally. I've never had issues. So I definitely recommend a Windows laptop or computer when printing out these documents. I've just had, honestly, a very stressful time with Apple. There might be a way to do it now, but I'm already on the Windows side when it comes to that. So after you get your printer and scanner set up, you need a scanner tied in with this, because if you have a closing that requires scan backs, you don't want to be scanning documents at FedEx or something like that. It's going to cost you way more money and you're not going to be profitable. So it's best to just invest in a printer that has a scanner in it, or even getting a small portable scanner. I have an Epson, 580 scanner, and I use that for certain title offices that require me to scan in docs right after the closing. So if you're working with a client that requires scanning at the table, whether that's for funding conditions or they just need docs immediately after, then you're going to want to invest in a portable scanner that you can bring to the closing table with you. If not, then the printer that you have with a scanner tied to it should be more than sufficient for you. Now you are officially ready to go out into the loan signing world and hustle until you become that successful agent you were always meant to be, making hopefully over $10,000 a month. Well, the next question would be, how do I get my first signing? I recommend for new signing agents to sign up with a signing service first. And when you're signing up for a signing service, that's not just one, you're signing up for over 100. And that's the footwork you have to put in to start getting business. And then once you build up a reputable amount of closings with those signing services, they will continue to give you business. Now, a couple of signing services that I'm with are Amrock, BankServe, Signature Closers, Coast to Coast Signings. There are a ton. You can Google nationwide signing services or even signing services in your local area. You'll just put in, the state and city that you are in, and you will see that they are everywhere. You're going to want to sign up for as many as you can, and you'll put in your information, upload your notary certificate, your background check, your E&O insurance, and that's how you get the ball rolling. And once you are in their system, you will start to receive emails and text messages of loan closings near you. Now, it's kind of a dog-eat-dog world out there because they send out mass texts to people in your local area, and whoever accepts it first will most likely get that closing first unless you are on their preferred notary list. When I was getting started, I made sure to reach out by phone and call each signing service to introduce myself. Say, hey, my name is Brett Reitler. I'm a local notary here in Denver, Colorado. I have error-free closings. I don't miss dates, signatures, initials. Please use me, and I promise I will leave the borrower happy and your escrow officers and clients happy as well. They most likely will give you an opportunity. That is how I received my first signing, which, my first signing, I was so nervous. It was a California refinance in a hotel lobby here in Denver. It took me about 2.5 hours. I had issues with my printer. That's why I harped on it earlier. Make sure that you have your printer ready to go. You've tested it out. You don't need to waste tons of toner and paper in order to figure this out. Just have a mixed document of maybe 5 pages and practice with the settings on that. And then I got to the appointment. I had so much anxiety. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a very anxious person. When I have to talk to new people about business, it always makes me a little nervous and a little anxious, but you have to just find that quiet place inside, take a few breaths, breathe in, breathe out, and know that you're gonna be okay. You aren't gonna die, or you're not gonna drop all the papers everywhere. I hope you don't. But know that it's gonna be okay. And most of the time, borrowers have no idea about these documents. So when you're just guiding them through, showing them the documents, giving them a basic gist of the documents, sign and date here, sir or ma'am, they are okay with it. And they will never know that it is your first time. But for my first signing, I had to go back. There was one document that I missed because I had to scan in the documents so they saw it, and I had to call the borrowers up. I'm like, hey, this is Brett, the closer for your refinance we had yesterday. do you guys have time to meet up today to get this squared away? Luckily, they were super cool about it, but they also were flying out that day at like 7 p.m. So I dropped everything I had for that day, and I met up with them, apologized for taking up their time. They were very relaxed about it, and that is where everything started, and that is where my loan signing journey began. That was probably the longest signing I've had, and the only time I've missed something and had to go back to get it fixed. So remember to just breathe and be yourself. Most people are very relaxed and laid back. If you're gonna be late, make sure you call the borrower. Hey, I hit some traffic on the way to the appointment. I'm gonna be 10 minutes late. If you let them know that 10 minutes before the closing, 9 out of 10, they have no issues with it. So when you get to your first signing, go out there, have all the confidence, and you now have all the tools you need to be out there and be successful. This is the end of episode 1. Thank you guys for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to be updated on newly released podcasts. If you have a question or you would like to be on an episode with me, send an email to info@signaturesusa.com. Until next time, this is the Loan Signing Hustle.